Some people start feeling old much earlier than others, not physically, but somewhere deeper. You meet someone who is 30, healthy, working, living a relatively normal life, and yet the way they move through the world already feels quietly tired. Careful, quiet, almost like someone who has been walking for a very long time. And the strange part is this: nothing in their life looks difficult enough to explain it. So the question quietly appears: how can someone feel older than their age? At first, most people assume it must be stress. Too much work, too many responsibilities, too many problems to solve. And sometimes that explanation is true, but not always. Because there are also people whose lives look relatively ordinary. They go to work, they meet friends, they move through familiar routines. From the outside, nothing about their life looks unusually heavy. And yet, somewhere inside they feel as if they have already lived a very long life. Not in years, but in emotional weight. They start noticing small changes. Their excitement fades faster. Their patience becomes thinner. Things that once felt interesting now feel strangely distant. And sometimes they look around at people their age laughing easily, moving through life with lightness, and they quietly wonder, why does everything feel heavier for me? There is a small Taoist story about two travelers walking along the same mountain road. They began their journey at the same time. They carried similar bags, and they walked through the same forest path. After several hours, they stopped beside a river to rest. The first traveler sat down on a rock and smiled. This journey is beautiful. The air is clear. The mountain feels peaceful. The second traveler sat down beside him and sighed heavily. This journey is exhausting. My legs feel like I've walked for days. The first traveler looked surprised. But we walked the same road. The second traveler slowly opened his bag. Inside were many small stones. I picked them up along the way. Worries about the future. Regrets from the past. Expectations I felt I had to meet. And questions I never stopped asking myself. He looked at the stones quietly. The road was the same, but the weight was not. In real life, many people carry invisible stones just like that traveler, not physical burdens, but quiet emotional weight that slowly accumulates over time, responsibilities that arrived too early, expectations they felt they could not refuse, mistakes they keep replaying in their mind, or simply years of constantly wondering if they are doing life correctly. None of these things look dramatic from the outside, but together, they slowly add weight to every step a person takes. And the strange part is this: most people who carry these stones do not even notice them anymore, because the weight did not arrive suddenly. It appeared gradually. A small worry here, a quiet disappointment there, a responsibility that seemed temporary, a role that slowly became permanent. And before they realize it, their inner life becomes heavier than the life around them. And sometimes people begin to question themselves. Why does everything feel heavier for me? Why do others seem to move through life with more ease? So they try to fix it. They push themselves to think more clearly, work harder, be stronger, handle everything better. But strangely, the more they try to carry everything well, the heavier everything begins to feel. Because the problem was never weakness. The problem was weight. Sometimes this weight is not even made of big problems. It is made of small things that quietly repeat themselves every day. A conversation where you tried to say the right thing. a decision you keep replaying later that night, a responsibility you accepted because no one else would. None of these moments feel important by themselves, but over months and over years, they slowly become small stones in the mind. And the mind is very good at holding on to things. It remembers what went wrong. It remembers what could have been done better. It remembers the expectations we quietly placed on ourselves. So even on calm days when nothing difficult is happening, the mind may still be carrying many unfinished thoughts. And that invisible weight is often what makes life feel older than the calendar says. Sometimes this quiet heaviness begins to appear in very small moments of life. A person may wake up in the morning already feeling slightly tired, not physically, but mentally. Even before the day has truly started, simple decisions begin to feel strangely draining. Small problems require more energy than they once did, and moments that should feel light somehow feel heavier than expected. It can even appear in conversations. While others speak casually, their mind is already analyzing, thinking, evaluating, trying to understand everything correctly. Over time, this constant inner activity becomes exhausting, not in a dramatic way, but in a slow, almost invisible way. And because nothing obvious is wrong, many people assume this quiet tiredness is simply part of growing older. But sometimes it is not age at all. It is simply the weight of carrying too much for too long. Taoist philosophy offers a simple observation. Age is not only measured by time, it is also measured by weight. Not the weight of the body, but the quiet weight of everything the mind refuses to release. Some people grow older because years pass. Others grow older because they carry too much for too long. And the surprising truth is, many of those stones were never truly theirs to carry. Expectations from society, invisible comparisons with other people's lives, pressure to always be productive, pressure to always be strong. All of it slowly turning life into a heavier journey than it was meant to be. The Tao does not say life should be effortless, but it quietly suggests something else. Sometimes the difference between exhaustion and lightness is simply learning which stones are not yours. If you have ever felt older than your age, it may not mean something is wrong with you. It may simply mean you have been carrying too many invisible stones for too long. And sometimes the first step toward feeling lighter is not moving faster, not pushing harder, but gently noticing what you have been carrying without realizing it. In many Taoist stories, the wisest travelers are not the fastest ones. They are the ones who eventually learn which things are worth carrying and which things can finally be placed down. Sometimes life becomes lighter, not when the road changes, but when the weight quietly disappears.